Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. Today, we're doing the lowercase alphabet. This is Fountain Pen Calligraphy 103. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. Alright, so I'm going to share this with my friends. I would encourage you to share this with your friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. Now the internet might be doing something funny today, so if it is, just keep hanging on with it, because there's nothing I can do about it now. So there's nothing I can do about it right now. So we're just going to keep moving forward. Okay? Alright, so we're going to take a look at things that we started with. We did our test. And then April 1st we did the basic strokes. And then day 2 we did some drills. And today we're going to start the lowercase alphabet. So, April 3. The lowercase alphabet. So, what we learned yesterday was we did the basic strokes, and we're going to use the basic strokes to complete the letters of the alphabet. Now, if you haven't done my class before, this is going to seem kind of slow and arduous, but I promise if you listen to the production of the class, it will all make sense in the end. So, when you are writing, we're going to write the letter A, and the letter A looks like an up. Make sure that your slant lines are in order. Make sure that you're using good enough posture so that you're not hunched over. The A is an upstroke, an oval, and an understroke. Okay? Anytime you're connecting to an O or an oval, you always want to come up, instead of going, let's see, we'll make our X height right here. So, if you were to write a tall letter A, it would look like this. right? So this would be our X height. And instead of making a full upstroke, you're going to make a half of an upstroke. So that's 1/4 of the width. See, there's the baseline, the quarter height, the X height, the 3/4 height, and the full height stroke. So when you're making an oval, you only come up about 1/4 of the way, and then you connect that oval to the side of that upstroke, and then an underturn. Okay, so we're going to practice that. Now, because we don't know what the next letter is going to be, I always do a half, but you can do a whole if you feel like that's more beneficial to you. If you're connecting this, say, to a B, then you would just start from here and go up and over with a ascending stem loop. But since we're connecting to another letter A, we're only going to come up about to the 1/4 mark. Okay, so a little bit of context. Come up to the 1/4 height and make our oval and our underturn. Oval, underturn. Oval, underturn. Oval, underturn. Oval. Now you see what I did there? I overshot just a little bit. And each one of these are going to look a little weird, but just try and keep your ovals constant. Consistency is key. Underturn. Oval. 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 Underturn. All right, we did the letter A. Woo! Give yourself a round of applause. All right, now let's move on to the letter B. Now the B is a double height, so our X height is going to be here, and a B looks like this. It's an upstroke, an ascending stem loop, and a compound curve. And all that happens within this double-sized parallelogram. So we start with our upstroke, our ascending stem loop, and a compound curve. Now, because we are going into another letter that is an H, I'm sorry, we're not learning the letter H, we're learning B. B. I got distracted for a second, I'm so sorry. B is an ascending stem loop, and you're going to start at the 1/4 height. Remember our height measurements. Start at the 1/4 height and do a reverse oval. Okay, and then an upstroke. Now, because we already have an upstroke here, we're going to go into the next letter. Upstroke. ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke. Now there's a different type of a B that goes an ascending stem loop into an underturn with a connecting. You can do that if you want to, or you can go like that. I prefer the ascending stem loop or the reverse oval. And these should be the same width almost. It should look like a big B. Okay. So we'll just practice it that way. Ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke. Ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke, ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke, ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke, ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke. Now I'm separating these so that you guys can see that they're separate. So when you're writing, you want to make sure that everything is connected, and so that you're hiding the connection points. So you're going to go actually inside of the upstroke and come out, and then by hiding the join you'll go through that down to the baseline, and you'll start on the inside of that line and come up, over, around, down, and back inside of. So this has like 3 different strokes going through it. Okay. Okay, it should look something like that. And you know, your B's don't have to be super tall on the top. They can just be real thin. Or they can be really fat. Just depends on how you write, how thick you write. But try and keep them constant all the way across. Alright, now we're going to learn the C. Here's our X height. Always mark your X heights when you're practicing, so that way you don't forget that there's a double space. Now, when you do the C, it's a reverse oval, and it comes up, around, down, and then instead of connecting, going back up for the oval, it's a little modified, and we're going to turn it into an upstroke. So, an oval into an upstroke. Kind of like a spiral out. So, when you do it, you'll go upstroke, oval into another upstroke, oval into another upstroke, oval into another upstroke. And then don't be stingy on making that bottom underturn really wide. Use up that whole space. Don't be afraid. And you can experiment by making your C's come up from really low, or you can make them really high. But just try and keep them at the same space all the way across. Preferably in the middle of the letter. Okie dokie. Alright, now the next letter is the D that has an upstroke, an oval, and a descending stem loop, and an upstroke. Okay? But because we're connecting to another oval, we're only going to make it half of an upstroke. So, oval, ascending stem loop into an upstroke. Oval, ascending stem loop, upstroke, oval, ascending stem loop, 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 and you'll do that all the way across. Now you should not go fast, just go nice and slow. Should be a meditative practice. Okay. Now the E is like a C, but it's an upstroke, and then a dash, and then an oval. Well, it's actually an upstroke, a dash, and a C, or a dash and a C, a dash, a C, a dash, a C, a dash, a C, a dash, a C, a dash. And you can experiment with making these thinner or fatter or however you want. Just make sure that you don't, that when you're coming up and around, that you go through that junction point and continue through the letter so that you don't have this little bit poking out. So you can even do this without lifting your pen if you continue. Okay? But just remember, they're separate steps. So I encourage everyone to pick up your pen after every stroke. So, dash, pick up your pen. Oval, pick up your pen. Dash, pick up your pen. Oval. And once you figure out like a rhythm into a word, you will better understand where to stop and where to start. The F is probably one of the most complicated letters. It's an upstroke, an ascending stem loop into a reverse descending stem loop to an upstroke. So, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, upstroke. Ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, upstroke. Now you can do this all in one go, so you can go up, don't just stop, make sure you stop, full stop, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop, upstroke, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop, upstroke, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop, upstroke, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop, ascending stem, upstroke, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop, upstroke, ascending stem loop, descending stem loop, stop. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to do this. Not right now. When we get into stylizing, we will do things like this. But for right now, you want to